Hi, my name is Lake, and I've been a fan of the Guilty Gear series for a very long time now. Probably since I was about 13 or 14. I can't quite remember when I got into the game exactly, but I know it was when I got a copy of Guilty Gear Iska, which is still probably my favorite Guilty Gear game to go back and play. And that game came out in the States in 2004. So it had to have been right around when I was 13, 14, or 15. Anyway, I've noticed that a lot of people on YouTube are putting up wish list for the game, like what characters they want in the game or what features. But I've noticed that very few people have actually put up what features they want in the game. So I want to make a really short video saying a few things that I think it could be added to the game that would make it a lot more enjoyable, especially from a single player perspective, as I am definitely not someone who could ever go to Evo, and I'm really not good enough to play most of the people who play Xrd Rev 2 online. I'm not good enough to go toe to toe with them, but I just really love the characters and the world of Guilty Gear, and I really do enjoy sinking hours into the game, clearing out the episodes and the story modes and all that jazz. Excuse me for the cough. But a few things that I would think would really make Guilty Gear 2020 great would be including a beat 'em up side mode like GG Boost mode from Iska. As I said previously, Iska is my favorite game in the Guilty Gear series, which is probably a really hot take. But I really love the single player content that's there. And since Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is getting some kind of single player experience that seems, from the footage that they've shown, it really seems like a beat 'em up mode. Uh, so I think that's definitely doable for Guilty Gear 2020, since they have done it in the past. And also, the only reason I bought Guilty Gear Judgment for the PSP was for the beat 'em up mode again, so I could take that on the go when I go on long trips or am waiting at the doctor's office. Uh, if they don't do a beat 'em up mode, I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't be too sad, but I really hope the next feature is in Guilty Gear 2020. Uh, a proper score attack or survival mode. One of my favorite things to do when the original BlazBlue came out was to do the score attack mode and just challenge the bots as they got harder and harder and threw everything they have at you. And I'm really surprised that Xrd Rev 2 or any of the Xrds did not have any type of proper survival mode or score attack mode. And like I said, as someone who mainly plays single player, that would be a great addition to the single player content. Another feature that I would love is English dubs. I loved the English dubs in Exard's Sign. I thought they were pitch perfect. Especially my favorite character in that game, Bedman. I thought Yuri Lowenthal's voice was perfect. I thought he sounded amazing. He really brought that character to life. And I would love to see if Guilty Gear 2020 is supposed to be like a rebranding of Guilty Gear that's supposed to bring as many people to the table as humanly possible. I think having English dubs in the game again would be a great way to do that. Finally, and this is this is not exactly a feature, but it is something that I would like to see is I really hope they don't remove any more characters from the roster. I was really burned when the Exard series never included Bridget and Testament, two of my favorites from the old school games. And I would be really sad if Guilty Gear 2020 came out and they were slashing Exard characters. Like, especially if they do me dirty and remove Bedman, my new favorite character. But this isn't about any particular character. I'm just really hoping that they don't go the route where they cut out people just to reintroduce them later, like they did with the Exard series. and I really hope that no one who's been in Exard gets cut, especially. And okay, this might be another feature. I really hope that this game takes the Street Fighter V approach, where instead of coming out as 3 separate discs, it's just one disc, and they add the content and add the content and add the content without, having, 2 years later, Revelator came out, and then another 2 years later, Rev 2 came out. I really hope that they just bring one game to the table and just keep adding all the content that they intend to add to it. So that way, it's like, I love Exard's Sign, but there's no point in really playing it anymore for me because I do dip into the online stuff, and it's really sad because absolutely no one is playing that game online at all, and it's missing or maybe 8 characters that aren't in Rev 2, so there's really no point for me to go back and play that. And I really hope that Arc System Works doesn't do that this time around with this generation of Guilty Gear. I really hope they take the Street Fighter V approach. Anyway, like I said, this is just a really short video, some features that I don't think other people are talking about, but I really hope that they're in the game, and I really think that people should be thinking about these too, because we all want certain characters in the game. That's a given. But what else is going to make this game better than just, having a gigantic roster? To sum up, I think things like a side-scrolling beat-em-up mode, a survival mode, English dubs, and no characters cut from the game, and finally all the characters on a single disc would be fantastic. Thank you. That's all I want to say. Have a good day.